Welcome, everyone. It's Dr. Lindner. In this next section of our Introduction to Anatomy and Physiology, remember we went over the organization of life. We said that chemicals come together to make cells, cells come together to make tissues, tissues come together to make organs, organs come together to make systems, the systems come together to make the crown and creation of all, the organism. So let's take a look at some of these systems that we'll be talking about. Some will be discussed in Anatomy 1, and others will be discussed in Anatomy 2. Now, when we talk about the skeletal system, it's taught, at least I teach it in a way where I break it down into the axial skeleton, which is everything that we see here in the center. That's called the axial skeleton. And then we'll talk about the upper extremity and the lower extremity, and those are referred to as the appendicular system. Appendicular. Don't worry about my spelling, but two types are axial and appendicular skeleton. And I will send out plenty of videos of me going over real important landmarks of the skull and landmarks of the spine and the ribs and the sacrum and the pelvis. I'll go through all the bones. Should you choose to use some of my videos, fantastic. If not, you're free to use just the book or anything else that you'd like. So that's how I'll talk about it. But the skeletal system is really important because it's where muscles attach. So in 1 week, we're going to be talking about the skeleton. There's going to be lots of uh, lab questions that come from that. And then we'll spend another week that talks about the muscular system and muscles attached to the bones. When muscles contract, they move the bones. The bones are really important because you have the skull here that protects the brain. We have the spinal cord here, the spinal column, I should say, that protects the spinal cord. There are 24 freely movable vertebrae. You have 7 cervicals, you have 12 thoracic vertebrae, and we have 5 lumbar vertebrae. Easy way to remember that is you eat at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 5 p.m. You have 7 cervicals, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar vertebrae. When you add them up, you get 24 freely movable vertebrae. Then we have a sacrum at the bottom, with the tip of it being the coccyx at the very end. The skeleton itself is really important because it stores minerals, especially calcium. So the skeleton is like a reservoir. It's a bank, if you would, that is a reserve that holds on and stores to a lot of minerals. So when your body is deficient or in a fasting state, you can always go into the bones and pull out minerals for the organs to function and for physiology to function. So the skeletal system is very important. Axial skeleton in the center, appendicular skeleton are known as the extremities. The skull protects the brain, and the ribs protect the heart and the lungs, and the 24 vertebrae protect your spinal cord, and your pelvis over here protect the reproductive organs. So you see, the skeleton is very, very important. I'll take a pause here and then I will talk about the neural system in the next video.